As a woman, you need to put the needs of your husband above your needs at every point in time. That's how you show that you're a nurturing woman who has been well trained to be a wife material. That's another very toxic patriarchal saying that we need to detox from, not just for ourselves, but for the sake of our daughters. It is the most selfish, one sided piece of advice that has ever been given because it promotes gendered servitude. The thing is this: while women are being told to put their needs last, are men also expected to put the needs of their wives before their own needs? Absolutely not. That is unheard of. That's an insult, right? So, for as long as you guys think it is absurd for a man to put the needs of a woman before his own needs, then I want you to understand that that's how absurd we think it is. And while many of our mothers didn't do the best for themselves, we are choosing to choose ourselves. We're never going to put anybody ahead of ourselves. That's not how it works. Let's even break down this whole notion. Men take pride in calling us women the weaker vessel. But if we are weaker, then it means that we are helpless. Shouldn't we be the ones that get all the most care? Like if you have three kids and the eldest is 12, the second is 10, and the last is just a newborn baby. You see that the baby is so weak and helpless. That is the one that gets the most attention. Not that the other children will not get attention. The youngest will generally get the most attention because they are so fragile, they're so helpless. So if in the same way you guys really think we're the weaker vessel, why is it that you feel like it is okay for the baby to be taking care of the mommy? Does it make any sense? You see that you guys love to speak from both sides of your mouth. When it favors you, you call yourselves the strong ones that need to be listened to and that need to lead the way. But when it doesn't favor you, when work is involved, when responsibility is involved, suddenly the weaker becomes the strong one that needs to, woman up and take responsibility. Please, we are done listening to all that. So for those who expect women to love their husbands and place them above themselves, how about loving your neighbor as yourself? How can you love your neighbor as yourself if you don't know how to love yourself? If all you have ever been taught is shrink yourself, your needs don't matter, what you feel doesn't matter, just look at others, meet their needs. We don't have what it takes to take care of you guys because we don't even know how to take care of ourselves. So you see that it still doesn't make sense. So for those who would love to go to the Bible and try to find ways to justify this notion of a woman placing her husband and his needs above herself, Bible says, esteem each other above yourself. So in essence, it's saying don't have an over-exaggerated sense of self while throwing everyone else under the bus. So as a woman and a human, I don't need to be so proud and so well puffed up and I think other people's needs don't matter. I will take care of myself and I will also look out for the needs of others. But in the same way, that is what a man needs to be doing. He doesn't need to say, I am a man, full stop. And that means I get everything. You have to put down your ego. He said, esteem each other above yourselves. So don't have an over-exaggerated sense of who you think you are and what you think you're entitled to. Nobody is talking about that. Many women have actually been burnt because they were good wives. They sacrificed their health, they sacrificed their career, they sacrificed their happiness, they sacrificed their autonomy, everything about them to please a man, only to be tossed aside when the man didn't have need for them again. So my dear ladies, don't repeat the same mistake that many women in the past and even till today are still making. Love and support your spouse if you're in a marriage, obviously, but not to your own detriment. And let it be basically aura for aura. If you see that this person has a consistent pattern of treating you like trash and not meeting your needs, please save your pearls. Bible says, don't throw your pearls to the swine. They're going to take that pearl and they will trample it underfoot and come after you and rip you apart. So if you see that your tendency to be kind and nurturing is being taken advantage of, people want to use you to their advantage and they are not adding any value to you, please know that it's time to lock up shop. You're not Santa Claus. You're not Father Christmas. So finally, dear women, I want you to understand that love is not self-abandonment. A healthy relationship honors both partners' needs, their dreams, and their boundaries. And true intimacy is built when people feel seen, heard, and valued, and not when one disappears into the other. So if you find that you're the only one sacrificing, you're the one that is only putting the other above yourself, and you're not getting commensurate or even a greater measure of that sacrificial love, please, it's time to rethink what you're doing and make the necessary adjustments for your own safety, because your safety and your well-being is in your hands. Don't take it lightly.